Japan, an island group roughly 120 million people strong, with a recorded history of only 1,600 years, is the second largest economic power in the world today. In the eye of history, Japan's success happened overnight, and yet it didn't come out of the blue. Cultivating an ancient legacy, modern Japan continues to hold on to its past. Influenced by Shinto and Buddhism, the two major religions, the Japanese have developed many unique methods and techniques that they handed down from one generation to the next. For centuries, Japanese craftsmen strove to become one with their chosen materials, gradually perfecting their methods. And while many traditional crafts are struggling to survive in the modern marketplace, the essence of that knowledge lives on. It was the key to Japan's success, and it still is. I will show you how what the ancients knew helps explain the industrial marvel of modern Japan. To understand Japan's sudden advance in science and technology, it is necessary to understand the country's close relationship with nature and its enduring ties with ancient traditions. The ancients believed that a spirit, or kami, lived in everything, especially in trees. Because according to an ancient legend, the first Japanese descended from the heavens by climbing down on cypress trees. Both Buddhism and Shintoism, Japan's two major religions, permeate every aspect of life. Rooted in Shinto, the native religion, the Japanese have developed a way uniquely their own, spurring techniques and methods dedicated to finding the spirit, the essence of things. There are many ways to keep in touch with history. The ancient art of iaido grew out of the sword testers group. Through iaido, each sword was tested for balance, flexibility, and to see if it would do the job. To look at the others, you'd think it was effortless. In fact, the sword is rather heavy. This one was approximately 29 inches long and weighed over 2 pounds. To master the various strokes gracefully requires years of practice. But one move demanded immediate proficiency. I had no idea how difficult it would be to put the sword back into the scabbard without slicing my thumb off. Samurai were known for their swords because no one but a samurai could carry one. The samurai were also known as bushi, and their way of life bushido. It was a way of life whose highest ideals were honesty, incorruptibility, and frugality, a scorn for material possessions. Besides this sword, a samurai's most prized possessions were his pride and his honor. The Japanese reverence for the samurai and their legendary swords goes back 1,000 years. One sword maker passed his secrets on to the next generation. Initially, the knowledge of metallurgy was introduced to Japan via Korea and China, possibly even India. Yoshikazu Yoshihara is carrying on the family tradition. Now, in his 20th year of training, he is well on his way to becoming a master. The steel he uses was smelted in an ancient process, which produces tamahagane, or jewel steel. It is particularly high in carbon, which is one of the secrets to forging a keen blade. A sword begins as an ingot of carefully selected tamahagane chips, which have been forged together. By selecting the perfect mix of steels, Mr. Yoshihara is able to take advantage of the steel's natural variations, That might sound surprising, but it's the variations that give the sword its beauty, its personality, and its effectiveness. The ingot is folded, hammered, and cooled repeatedly, creating thousands of layers forge welded to one another. Judging by the colour of the heated metal, the swordsmith knows when the temperature is just right. Each sword maker has his own formula. Yoshikazu only admits that his father taught him that at least 13 folds are required. Other secrets include strict standards for heating and cooling. The formula produces an obsidian-hard blade with willow-like flexibility. Finally, it's polished to perfection. Today, the sword's deadly history is easily forgotten in light of its remarkable beauty. 300 years later, the same razor-sharp technology that once took countless lives is transformed to help relieve suffering.